Good morning and welcome, Unity of Kalamazoo. I didn't have my mic set. Just 1 second here. Much better. I don't have to bend over. I hope you all made it through this chilly morning this morning. I know that it was a little bit of a shock for myself. So we're all here. Let's warm up and do some music together. We've got John Moody on bass today, Carolyn Keeble on drums, and Barb on as our song leader. So a little something to look forward to later on. Carolyn is taking our special music slot for today. We've got some cool tunes in store as well. So let's stand together and start with My Soul is Welcome Here.
Good morning. Thank you, music team. I'm Karen Colson, and I'll be your platform assistant today. And we'd also like to thank everyone who worked so hard to make every Sunday service here so special. That includes our people on PowerPoint, streaming video, audio, ushers, hospitality, and script, and bookstore. Thank you all very much. If there are any visitors here for the first time, we would like to welcome you, and we have a card that we would ask that you fill out and return to the ushers so that we can share more of what Unity Kalamazoo is all about, and we are blessed by your presence today. So please join me with our mission statement. As an all-inclusive community, we awaken to spirit, grow into our soul, and build a better world. And our vision statement, celebrate a world of ever-awakening consciousness, abundance, peace, and love for all. And our core values of love, authenticity, stewardship, oneness, and playfulness. And please welcome back Barbara and our music team with We Shall Overcome.
We shall overcome. shall make us free. The truth shall make us free. The truth shall make us free someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday.
Today's daily word for today is compassionate. I am a compassionate presence. In periods of peaceful contemplation, I immerse myself in the unconditional love that joins the human family together in God. As the awareness of divine love fills my mind and heart, it dissolves all memories of difficulty and feelings of discord. Centered in divine love, I deeply feel my oneness with God and with all people. I now see the people in my life anew. Beholding the divinity of each dear one I meet, my heart overflows with empathy as I respond to their troubles and celebrate their triumphs. I am patient. I listen with intention. I recognize their divinity as I recognize my own. I welcome the flow of divine love as it blesses me, as well as those with whom I am sharing my compassion. You shall not take vengeance or bear a grudge against any of your people, but you shall love your neighbor as yourself. I am the Lord. Leviticus 19:18. Now, if you haven't already done so, and you are comfortable in doing so, please close your eyes as we enter into the silence. And just begin connecting with your breath, gently breathing in and breathing out. Resting your hands gently in your lap, palms up, demonstrating your willingness to receive. Nice, slow, deep breathing. Exhaling all out that has come before this moment. All of it. Every day, every hour, every minute, every month, every year. This thing called the past. Let it go. Breathe. Breathe. Let yourself be more deeply centered in you. Let go of everything and anything that robs you of your peace, that robs you of your remembering of who and what you are. Breathe. Release it and welcome your whole, holy self home. Allow a gentle smile to come to your face as your attention moves to your heart. And imagine right in the center of your heart a ball of golden white light, the light and love of God, the Christ light, the one light, pure power. And as you place your attention upon it and breathe into it, just imagine it growing bigger and brighter, filling your whole body temple from head to toe, across your shoulders, down your arms, to the tips of your fingers. irradiating, pulsing, golden white light, pure power. Extend this light beyond the edges of your body. Imagine it filling your mind, your whole being, your whole holy being. One big ball of beautiful golden white light. Letting your light shine in this glory, with this glory, rising up in joy and happiness, always guided, always protected, letting go and letting God, where life works, knowing your divinity, expanding, beautiful golden white light, shining brighter, bigger, beautiful glory. And now imagine this golden white light shooting out into the entire world, connecting you with all living things, all life, plant, mineral, rocks, animals, swimming in the ocean, from the highest mountains to the deepest seas, and everything in between. I am one with all life, and I bless that life. I am one with all life, and I bless that life. One light, all life. So good, so good. And now taking one more deep breath as we begin to bring our attention back to the room that we're in, the room you're in, bringing with you that open heart, that willingness to receive, for truly we are blessed. We are guided. Please open your eyes whenever you are ready. Now we have Carolyn with special music.
All right, good morning, all. I'm going to share with you a piece of music brought to us by Leslie Odom Jr., one of the stars from Hamilton. And it appeared in the film One Night in Miami, that came out kind of during the last few years when just a vast collection of wonderful documentaries have been released. And this particular one featured the story, the retelling of an evening when Muhammad Ali and Malcolm X and Sam Cooke all converged together in Miami for one of Ali's great fights. And it's quite an incredible story, and the emotionality and everything that's contained in it. And one of the poignant aspects of it was really when Malcolm X urged Sam Cooke to become more involved in the movement. And Sam very definitely knew what that might look like and how that might play out if he followed that encouragement. And it was the same action that Malcolm took, and Martin Luther King Jr. and all of our wondrous ancestors now And this is just a beautiful song tying into what Karen's message was, that listening with intention and seeing that divinity. Listen, listen, while the storm in your heart is raging. Listen, listen, listen. Oh, listen to the echoes of martyrs praying. Listen, listen, listen. Oh, listen, brothers and sisters, listen, listen, listen. Swear we'll never find a way to where we're going. All alone, don't take your eyes off the road. Can you hear the bells ring out? Speak now, speak now. Can you hear the angels sing loud? Speak now, speak now. Well, listen, listen to the message of hope and the whispers of ghosts. Listen, listen. Listen, for the children will grow on the seeds that we sow. They listen, they listen. Listen, brothers and sisters, listen, listen. I swear we'll never find a way to where we're going. All alone, don't take your eyes off the road. Can you hear the bells ring out? Speak now, speak now. And can you hear the angels cry out? Speak now, speak now. Don't you hold your tongue. Speak now, speak now, speak now. Can you hear the angels? Speak now, speak now. Thank you. Leslie will be with the Grand Rapids Symphony the first weekend of March, also in our neighborhood, if you'd love to hear more of that brilliance.
Thank you, Carolyn. That was beautiful. Well, please join me in welcoming Francis Vicioso, our guest speaker today. I'm going to do a little introduction on you, but please. All right. So, Francis is the external co-director of Truth, Racial Healing, and Transformation at the Kalamazoo Community Foundation. Her role is to strengthen the existing and seek new community partnerships, support the Truth, Racial Healing, and Transformation Kalamazoo leadership team, and manage all their external communications. Francis studied computer science at New York University and had plans to be a software engineer, but felt called to education after witnessing the lack of high-quality education in her neighborhood. The majority of Francis's career was spent in New York City public schools as a middle school STEM teacher, robotics coach, and youth development specialist. Following her in-classroom teaching career, she moved to instruction coaching, helping teachers and school administrators develop culturally relevant strategies. Now, she's excited to be a champion for racial equity and racial justice in Kalamazoo by centering deep relationships, promoting collaboration, and encouraging truth-telling and healing. She also serves as the programming chairman on the board of the Kalamazoo Poetry Festival and is heavily involved in the advocates and leaders for the Police and Community Trust. The title of her talk today is Everyday Equity. Please welcome Frances Vicioso.
Can I remove this friend in the burgundy shirt who so kindly did the thing? Okay, cool. Can I take this off? Awesome, thank you. So I'm firmly a millennial. First of all, hello friends. It's so good to see all of you. I start every time I speak with a hello friends, because that's who we are. We're friends. We're friends that I guess haven't gotten there yet, but we can be, right? I'm firmly a millennial, so I have notes on my phone. So if I'm looking down, I also was a former teacher, so I walk around a lot during my talks. I know that I have like from right here to like right here. So this is where I'll be walking. But okay. So I want to start off my talk today. First of all, how y'all doing today? Are y'all good? All right, I want to quickly survey the room because I think it's really crucial to know who you're speaking to. And all I can glean is what you look like. And I only see like this much. And like your hair, right? And maybe your clothes. And you guys look good today. But I like to get to know my audience. So I will be pointing and doing some random things. Please don't be alarmed. This is kind of the speaker that I am. So I will not judge a book by its cover, but I just want to look at your faces. And I really so I want to invite you to do a few things. Clearly I'm Black, in case you didn't realize. But in Black culture, I'm also a Latina. So in our cultures, we love to make noise. We love bodily expression. So I really want you to take your polite hat off. Like, this is not polite church time. This is like, if something resonates with you, I want you to snap. I want you to clap. I love a good direct eye contact. I love a strong nod. Don't take your head off, but I like that because it really helps me know if I'm in the right direction. Because if I get boring, I'll switch it up or I'll just leave because it's fine. And I also want to, first of all, can we give a round of applause to these musicians here in the cut? Carolyn, that was really cool. You're super cool, bro. Like, for real. I love that. So I will also start off my talk by saying that I am no expert. I come to you humbly as a person, as an individual who just wants to learn. So please don't say like, oh, Frances, she knows everything. I do not know everything. I'm just learning. I have some experiences that may be different than yours. I have some learnings that may be a little different than yours, and that's okay. So I'm just coming to share a perspective that maybe you have, maybe you don't have, maybe you want to develop, and that's fine. So that's my kind of disclaimer, but then also an invitation. If something strikes you, if you have more questions, if you want to have a conversation, as you heard in my bio, centering deep relationships is huge for me. So, let's talk. Like, y'all want to have some coffee? Y'all have more questions? Please feel free to reach out to me. I'll provide my contact information, or it can be found at the Kalamazoo Community Foundation website. So yeah, reach out, and it's an invitation to connect at any time when you feel ready, or you have questions, or you just want to talk some more. I think I'm a pretty cool guy, so it's fine. Okay, I guess let's jump right in then. So today, My talk was called Everyday Equity, and I still plan to talk about that. But tomorrow's Valentine's Day, right? Can we get a round of applause for Valentine's Day? I love Valentine's Day. I swear I'm a little bit of a stand-up comedian, so just bear with me, y'all. But so I have my heart shirt, heart sweater, and stuff like that. And I saw somebody handing out Valentine's. You're cute, whoever that was. But what I will say is that love is the center of everything. And that's what I'm going to talk about today. I'm going to talk about everyday equity, but I'm also going to just talk about love, talk about humanness, talk about people. Like I said, I'm going to be referring to my phone, so please, I'm not trying to be rude. Just want to make sure that I can stay on task because I can talk forever. So I'm going to talk about love. I saw that you have some core values, and I love them. And for me, my core value is always love above all else. I love love. I love to be loved. I love to give love. I love to literally encompass love. And I'm not the church-going type, and I really have had a very rough experience with churches in the past, but I do believe that churches preach love above all else. Because whether you call it God, whether you call it whatever, love is what it is, right? That ball of light that Karen was talking about, that's love, right? Love from God, love from whoever you worship, love for yourself, love for your family. So I think that's what's really important. And I want to talk about just like people, like differences, right? I'm going to do a little bit of audience participation. Please don't be alarmed. How many of you are parents? Just raise your hand for me. Oof, there's a lot of you. Sorry? Fur babies count. That's fine. No worries. Yeah. How many of you are children of parents? How many of you have parents? Right? That should be everyone. How many of you are sisters? How many of you are brothers? Aunties? Uncles? How many of you are college educated? How many of you thought you'd be college educated and didn't really make it there? Okay. How many of you are Black or call yourselves Black? How many of you call yourselves white? Okay. How many of you have roots in other countries? Yeah. How many of you are just American bred? Family just from here. Okay. Yeah. There's a lot of different identities in this room, right? But one thing that we all share, there's a common humanity, right? We're all humans, right? And I'm not going to give you the nonsense of like, there's only one race, it's the human race, because I don't believe that. But what I do believe is that race is a thing that we have to deal with every day. We just do, because we don't all look the same. And we're not all, it's not like, oh my God, I don't see color. Like, no, that's not it. It's okay for us to be different. And I think that that's really important. And I really want to start with that as well. Like, it's okay for all of us to be different. It's okay for you to acknowledge our differences. It's okay for you to be like, oh yeah, Frances, she's, her race is human. No, it's okay. Like I'm Black and it's fine. Like, and I just want to take that pressure away, because calling out differences is not an act of harm. It's not an act of violence. It is just an observation, and that's okay. Sometimes our observations are wrong. Sometimes our observations are just what they are. They're observations, but observations are guided by our own personal experiences, by our own brain, our own memory, things that we were taught. And sometimes they're wrong, and that's okay. I know, because I can show up with a mean mug sometimes, and they're like, ooh, she's mean. But I mean, I don't look mean now, do I? Usually, sometimes, if it's a little early, you get me with that face. But I think it's important for us to look at and really celebrate differences. And I don't want to make this a PBS special, but what I will say is that, differences are extremely important, and we all kind of play a role in this kind of ecosystem of like, how should I? Let me just say the word: white supremacy. I said it, y'all. I said it. I hope we're all okay. Let's talk about white supremacy a little bit. White supremacy is not any of you. Being white, first of all, can I just ask a real candid question? How many of you in this room were like, ever since early 2020, when social unrest really became real hot, how many of you felt like you're the enemy? or being portrayed as the enemy. And it's okay, be honest. How many of you are like, oh, I'm being portrayed as an enemy as a white person? It's okay. I'm fine with that. I want you to be honest. Yeah, thank you for being like, yeah, me. Like, I feel that, right? Yeah, absolutely. How many of you feel like you're not doing enough? Okay. How many of you feel like you don't know what to do? Yeah, I got you. Well, folks, what I will say is that you are not the enemy. Let me speak for every Black person here. No, I'm joking. But for me, you are not the enemy. Right. I promise I'll be here all week. But for I don't believe you're the enemy. If any of you are familiar with Adrienne Marie Brown, author of Emergent Strategy, she talks about pleasure versus shame. I'm not here to shame you because shame doesn't really do anything. We love to shame children, like, oh, I can't believe you did that. Or can you believe look at what you look like with chocolate on your shirt. Oh, you should be ashamed of yourself. But I'm not here to shame anybody for being white. Y'all, could you control it? I don't know. Right? I'm not here to shame you. I'm here to evoke pleasure and involve myself in pleasurable experiences. So what I will say is I don't think you're the enemy. I think you're just a friend that's waiting to be a friend, right? I think you're so close. So I will talk about white people versus whiteness versus white supremacy, because they're all kind of different things. You guys are white. Okay, so what? Some of us are Black. Some of us are a little spicy white. I don't know, somewhere in the middle. Or something else, like I am, right? But I do think that talking about white supremacy in the current climate is important. Let me check my time so I'm not going forever. White supremacy, I'll talk about that because that word, some of you have some, signs of aging. I won't call you out here. But I see that some of you have grown up in an era that's before mine, and that's okay, no worries. But I know that white supremacy meant something very different for you, right? White supremacy meant violence, meant rage, meant scary and fear. And I mean, I don't know about y'all, but I mean, if I was a white person, I be called a white supremacist, I would kill me. That's why I asked if some of you felt like you were the enemy, because I can see it phrased that way. Now, to give you a little background, like Karen mentioned, like I'm from New York. So I provide a little bit of a different perspective, but I also speak really fast. So if I'm losing you, please let me know. But also, I didn't grow up around white people. I didn't. The only white people who I knew were my teachers. I didn't have any white neighbors. I'm lying. I had one, like 2 blocks down, that I rarely saw. But I had like cookies at her house. It was good. But like, I didn't grow up around white people. I didn't have white colleagues. Not until I started teaching did I know other white people intimately. And white people were scary for me because of this idea of white supremacy. I was taught that white people were the enemy. And it's funny because I wasn't even taught that by my parents. Ooh, my parents. If you grow up Hispanic or something other than just strictly Black or white, and have some little spice thrown in there, race relations can get real funny. So I'm not going to get into that today because we don't have all of the time in the world for that. But what I will say is that there's a lot of like, well, white people don't care about me. White people don't love me. White people will never help me excel or succeed. And I found that to be not true. Only when I allowed myself to start making deep connections with other people who didn't look like me was I able to see that white people are not the enemy. Whiteness, white supremacy is the enemy. I'm going to go through a couple of Tema Okun and Kenneth something. Don't let me get to lying. Kenneth Jones' white supremacy culture tenets. So there's some things that make white supremacy culture what it is. So I'm sorry, let me back up. White supremacy as we know it now in this particular climate, right? White supremacy really is, I guess, a set of rules. It's a system. And in fact, we're all engaged in it. How many of you have been told that you were racist? Yeah. Can I tell y'all a secret? I was also racist. I also believed in, well, not in the real sense of the word, because the real sense of the word is racism is believing that your race or your race is superior. And technically, Black people can't be racist. But like in the, I guess, way that it's thrown around, I guess you can say that I was racist too. I believe that whiteness was superior to me. I did. And some days I still do. And it's hard because ultimately we are swimming in the ocean of white supremacy every day. So white supremacy really is like a culture, a systemic overarching belief. And it's very hard to pinpoint. But some people, scholars like Tema Okun and Kenneth Jones, have boiled it down to a couple of things. And I'm gonna go just through a few of them. And like I said, I will try to provide this. So where's my friend Karen here? I'll send you an email with some resources. And if you can get that out to folks or whoever I got to point to, I don't know. But yeah, I'll get that out for you. All right, this list. I'm gonna start with the hardest one, I think. One of the tenets of white supremacy is the right to comfort. Ooh, I saw a snap. Thank you. You're feeding me right now. The right to comfort. The belief that those with power have a right to emotional and psychological comfort. Scapegoating those who cause discomfort. Equating individual acts of unfairness against white people with systemic racism, which daily targets people of color. Sit with that for a second. There is a right to comfort. I don't know if you've seen it. I mean, Karen, forgive me. I'm sorry, Karen, forgive me. But you've seen these videos of Karens, right? How many Karens do we have in the room right now? Like, just like your name. Y'all, I'm sorry. Glad they didn't call them Francis's, right? Cool. But yeah, like this idea of a Karen, right? Somebody who is entitled to comfort. Entitled to comfort at the expense of other people. At the expense of acknowledging other people's feelings, other people's discomfort. And systemically, white comfort comes at the expense of all others. And like I said, please, and I really want you to take this with what you believe with an open heart, because I'm not coming for any of you. I don't know any of you to make you my enemy. So take, do with it what you will. But I'm gonna make you a little bit uncomfortable. Sorry, y'all, but not really sorry. Another tenet of white supremacy that I'll get into is the fear of open conflict. How many of you love to be like, oh, that bothered me, but I don't really want to say anything. Or I don't really think this is worth the fight. I'm just gonna, whatever, right? How many of you have done that? I certainly have. I absolutely have. I'll read a few of these. People in power are scared of conflict and try to ignore it or run from it. I don't know how many times a boss has kind of swept something under the rug because they didn't want to make somebody uncomfortable, right? When someone raises an issue that causes discomfort, the response is to blame the person for raising the issue rather than look at the issue which is actually causing the problem. Oof, I feel that. Why would she complain about that? I didn't mean when I said that. Yeah, right? I don't know, if I'm making y'all a little uncomfortable, it's okay to wiggle your shoulders and get some of that stress out. That's fine. That's okay. Sometimes we embody feelings, and that's fine. And you'll see me kind of frequently kind of move around and move my shoulders, because sometimes talking about this isn't comfortable. So I encourage you to do the same. Emphasis on being polite. Yikes. Didn't I just say take your polite hats off? Right? Emphasis and equating the raising of difficult issues with being impolite, rude, or out of line. Ooh, don't call it out. We don't talk about Bruno, right? Where are my Encanto people? Who saw Encanto? No, nobody? Disney film? Anyway, but yeah. So yeah, don't raise up the difficult issues. We don't talk about Tommy's drinking problem, guys. Right? Oh, yeah, she was pregnant, but we don't talk about that, baby. No, we don't. All of that is white supremacy culture. I'll talk about one more, and then I'm going to start closing out my talk because I think I've been talking for a little bit. And I'm happy to come back, y'all, if y'all want me to come back. It's fine. It's fine. Ooh. Y'all hear that out there in live stream land? I'm killing it. I'm killing it. The last thing I'm going to talk about is defensiveness. Oof. How many of y'all get defensive? I mean, I just had an issue last night with my partner where I was defensive, okay? I'm not even gonna deny it. Defensiveness, and like I said, all of us are guilty of these things because we're steeped in white supremacy every day. This is just it. This is how we were taught. All of us, no matter what we look like, we're taught to believe these ideals. Defensiveness, the organizational structure is set up and much energy spent trying to prevent abuse and protect power as it exists, rather than to facilitate the best out of each person and to clarify who has power. I love when people when bosses like, I'm not really your boss, I'm more of your friend. How many of you have seen that? Right. The lack of acknowledgement of power is an issue. Power dynamics are real. Race is real, right? And it's okay. That goes back to the politeness. Defensiveness. Why would she try to stir the pot with saying that I was racist? Ooh, yeah, hit me with a little self. Ooh, y'all felt that? All right. All of these things are things for you to consider. And there's a full list, like I said. I'll provide a resource for you all to see. But that's what I'm talking about. It shows up in our everyday lives, right? Every day we've seen something like this. Some of the other ones are like sense of false urgency. So we love that one. Perfectionism is another one, because trying to be perfect is a white supremacist construct, actually. Also, either or thinking, power hoarding, those are all tenets of white supremacy. And like I said, like once you start seeing what they are, I swear to you, you can't unsee them. You cannot. Listen, what did I watch last night? I watched Ratatouille. Any seen Ratatouille? I love that movie, right? First of all, I've never eaten Ratatouille, but it seems nice, right? Squash and zucchini and maybe some cheese and sauce. Like, I don't know, that sounds incredible. But what I will say is I was watching it with my partner last night, and the whole time I'm like cringing, like, oh my God, like this rat actually represents Black people. Oh my God. Oh my God. Or something like that. Or, oh my God, are they not gonna talk about power dynamics? The fact that he's a human and he's a rat? Like, are we not gonna talk about it? So unfortunately, once you start kind of learning this stuff, you kind of can't unsee it anymore. Sorry. I swear I will ruin every Disney movie for you. It's not even on purpose. I promise you it isn't. But in my house, my kid goes, oh, Mom, you're going to talk about that white character, aren't you? And I'm like, yep. Yeah, I am. So I will leave you with a few things that you can do every day. Now that I've told you a little about what white supremacy looks like, I'm going to leave you with some tips. Y'all ready? Cool. First thing I want you to do is learn. And learn with an open heart. I don't know how many times you sat in a classroom and somebody was telling you something and you were like, yo, I don't care. I will never use a Pythagorean theorem, ever. But listen with an open heart. Listen and learn. Read. Watch some movies. The good thing about living in this world right now, I guess the good and bad thing is that we've gone through a lot of social unrest, a lot of blatant violence against people of color. But that has led to a lot of people writing some good literature about how you can prevent that. I will tell you a tip though. Do not read anything by white people. And I'm going to tell you why. I think it's important for you to feel like someone has a similar perspective to you. And if you want to ease your way in, put a little White Fragility by Robin DiAngelo on there. But I don't, I think it doesn't go deep enough. And I think discomfort when we're learning is important. Because if you're comfortable, do you really learn anything? No, right? I'm like, all right, guys, 2 + 2 equals. Right, wow, you guys learned a thing. Did you really learn anything? No. Because you were comfortable, right? You already knew this stuff. So you really want to dig into the discomfort. I think that's really, really crucial. The second thing I'm going to ask you or provide as a suggestion is I want you to share. Share what you learned from the rooftops. I want you to tell your friends and family what you've learned. I want you to talk to your friends and family about model minorities. I want you to talk to them about slavery. I want you to talk to them about voter suppression. I want you to talk to them about police brutality. You gotta make people uncomfortable. So, what you learn, please share. I mentioned earlier about deep relationships. I don't know if you know, but you're actually extremely powerful in the being that you are because you have the power to influence your entire network. How many of you have big families here? How many of you have small families here? Guess what? All those people are under your influence. How many of you just have one family member right now? One person, you're like, meh, it's just one person. Yeah. How many of you have a decent amount of friends? Yeah. Yeah. You all are a part of this church, actually, which is a network in and of itself. So you have power to influence all these people. Share what you've learned. Start a book club. I love me a little book club. Make sure you have like cookies and coffee, though, right? So I love a book club. I love a shared experience. I love a podcast. I'm learning every single day. I said I'm no expert. I read books every day. Every day I'm reading something because I want to further my knowledge too, even though a lot of it is my lived experience. Some of it makes me uncomfortable. Some of it's like, shorty, like, defensiveness is part of white supremacy. And I'm like, oh my God, me? Me? Yeah. The last thing I'm going to share with you is I want you to question. At TRHT Kalamazoo, we have these touchstones, which are kind of like ways of being. And one of them is when things get difficult, turn to wonder. I want you to turn to wonder. I want you to see a Black single mom with her kids, maybe like 5 or 6 of them. And I don't want you to be like, oh, how dare she have so many kids? But I want you to be like, I wonder what their home life is like. I wonder if they have a lot of fun at dinner time. I wonder if she wanted to have that many kids. Turn to wonder. Questioning is extremely important. Don't make the assumptions. In fact, another one of ours is identify assumptions and suspend judgment. So I guess I'm going to tie those two together. Identify your assumptions about things, suspend judgment, and then turn to wonder. Right? A lot of us have judgments all the time, and it's the way our brains are wired. But it is also okay to learn to be like, and mind you, like I turn to wonder all the time now, oh my God, at work, what the hell? But anyway, yeah, so I think I turn to wonder often because I don't want to assume where people are coming from. I don't want to assume what their lives are like. I don't want to assume their situation. I don't want to assume anything. I see homeless people on the street all the time here in Kalamazoo. We know homelessness is a really big issue now, right now. But what I don't do is say, oh, they must be a drug addict, because you literally have no idea. I don't know if you know, but there are so many of us who are one paycheck away from being homeless. One. You miss a week of work and you don't get paid, and all of a sudden your rent isn't paid. Sometimes you're just one paycheck away from homelessness. So, let's suspend judgment there. So those are my 3 things. I want you to learn. I want you to share. And I want you to question. Let's think about this idea of stewardship, right? That's one of your core values. Stewardship, caring for everyone, right? Being stewards of love and support. That's crucial. Like Carolyn here. She loved me today. Is it she, her? Yeah, loved me today with that song. What's your name, friend? John. It's my guy. Yeah. And who are you? Brent, the people. Stewards of music and love and expression. And that's how they care for you. Right? So keep that in your hearts. And what I took away from was the peace and love for all piece. Y'all, I used to be a really hard person, but recently I've become very soft, because softness is okay, actually. I tell people to be like potatoes. I just want to be a baked potato, y'all. I just want to have a delicious looking skin. I want to be soft inside, maybe a little sour cream, butter, some chives, and for us meat eaters, some bacon bits. I want to be mashed potatoes. I want to be au gratin potatoes. I want to be scalloped potatoes. But I want to be soft. And I want to encourage you to be soft too. So if you want to practice everyday equity, lead with love, because there really is no other way. And to quote your mission, let's help build a better world, right? Have a good day, y'all.
Karen, are you ready for more music?
Tina. Is Tina in the house?
Okay. All right, Francis. I got your number today. I got your number every day. I'm going to do it. If you all know this one, you're welcome to sing along. Because the revolution is now. It's consciousness and it's love. And it's moving from that overcooked Brussels sprout to that soft baked potato. Come on, potato. All right, here we go. See if I got my situation situated. 1, 2, 3, go. Never get enough Tracy Chapman in this life. Don't you know we're talking about revolution? It sounds like a whisper. Don't you know we're talking about revolution? It sounds like a whisper. They're standing in the welfare lines, crying at the doorsteps of those armies of salvation, wasting time in the unemployment lines, sitting around waiting for a promotion. Don't you know we're talking about revolution? It sounds like a whisper. Poor people gonna rise up and get their share. The people gonna rise up and get what's theirs. Well, don't you know you better run, 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 run. Oh, I said you better run, 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 run. 'Cause finally the tables are starting to turn. We're talking about a revolution, oh yeah. Finally the tables are starting to turn. We're talking about a revolution, hold on. Talking about a revolution, oh. They're standing in the welfare lines, crying at the doorsteps of those armies of salvation, wasting time in the unemployment lines, sitting around waiting for a promotion. Don't you know they're talking about a revolution? It sounds like a whisper. And tables are starting to turn. Talking about a revolution, yeah, yeah. Finally the tables are starting to turn. Talking about a revolution, hold on. Talking about a revolution, hold on. Talking about a revolution, hold on. Trace Chapman, thank you so much, Francis. We appreciate you.
Good morning. I'm Tina Jackson, a member of your board, and I want to say thanks, Francis, music team, showing us the love. Appreciate it. Appreciate you. Please join us in our board affirmation. I have the strength to accomplish all that is mine to do. Wow. And I'm going to go to work tomorrow, and I'm going to start the listening. I'm going to make a big effort to listen more. So now, it's time for the offertory blessing. Remember, we drop our tithes in the tithe basket at the end as you walk out. Thank you for sharing your tithes as well. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God.
All right, well, let's hear it one more time for the music team and for Francis. Woo! We are not only blessed to have you here today, we are so blessed to have you in the greater Kalamazoo community working for us all. We do have a few announcements for you today. We are continuing our spiritual cafe on Wednesday afternoons at 1:30. That's being led by Judy Pilot. We had a great first week, so please join us for the second if you are so inclined. Next week's speaker is Gabriel Geron. We heard wonderful things about him this morning from Francis, so please join us next week.
With special music from Nathan Moore.
Right. Yeah. Okay, so please join me. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Yay, God. And join us in our peace song.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to Thank